start from painting something on this glass. What's it called? The plastic glass. You can create some composition, and if there's something wrong, you can wipe it away. And then I blot it with this paper called mobile paper. And we'll create a rabbit shape if we do it quickly. We'll try to do it small. Okay, now I will just pour some ink. And mix with some, what are we going to use the Chinese color? We call it opaque watercolor. In some Chinese color, we have a set of 12. Some colors are named as mineral colors. They're made from mineral materials. It has more body in the paints, in the pigments. You know, it's opaque. Some colors like indigo or yellow or rouge are plant colors, so they are more transparent. Okay, now we use mineral green, or sometimes I use amber. Amber is same as from the earth. So I can use some ink. Okay, this is a ox horn handled brush. It's natural handle. It gives you different dynamic. So I just draw a letter C or G or something. It's important to have empty space in the painting, right? So we don't finish it yet, just some traces. One stroke, and you can kind of play around with the composition. You can shift it somehow. And I get some color this way, a texture to give me some hint. It's called a dragon wing, the ridge of the mountain. It's my focus, the range, mountain range, the top of the mountain. You could have more up and down. Do another one. Maybe you can do it here. You can, because we just do the same, but every piece will be different. So you just add some more color, and we can wipe out some parts and leave some parts.
Need a tongue?
Need a tongue? No, that's it.
可以。
都可以。Okay, and this is called O-shaped composition. You can also do that with voids in the center. This is more like a lake view from the sky. We usually do it with the horizon outside of the picture, like you see from a bird's eye view or airplane, but not too high. It's like a middle ground of the landscape. Omit the foregrounds. Don't paint a big tree. In fact, that's not Chinese painting. We try to do the painting in a big, small painting, but universal sense. I'm not sure if it's, this is the heaven or that side is heaven. You can tell me. You can think about it and do it, complete it later. Okay. basically, you don't do this more than 30%. The finished painting should only have 70%. The rest is empty space, which will suggest clouds, mist, air, whatever, water, what else? Just snow, glacier, that kind of thing. So the missing part is very important.
Is that the finished thing? Or
No. This is the first step.
Okay.
I'm trying to do everybody do the same step. Maybe you can go back to. Let me see. Should I finish with one painting?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me do this. Yeah. I was thinking differently.
And what is that? Plexiglass?
Yeah, plexiglass. I sanded it. Okay. So now I have this hair dryer, right? I can do this right now. It's dry. So basically, you can use the. Let me show you. Did someone ask you how to load this brush? Have you learned how to use this water brush? Because I can use this ink here. Yeah, this is a water piston-filled ink. I use the ink. You can also use water. So I use this brush when I do sketch outside with plein air sketches. I use this kind of pocket version piston brush. When you use a small brush to build up a landscape, I also obviously have to keep in mind the whole thing in relation to the whole thing. So it's kind of a building up approach. But when you use a big brush, if you paint directly on paper, it's the same thing as a glass. You should be more careful because anything can be very disastrous. So when you do a big brush, you're actually very careful, right? When you do a small brush, it doesn't matter you make any small mistakes, but the whole thing is you're missing. So that's a paradox. So when you do a small brush, you always pay attention on the whole. When you do a big brush, pay attention on details. So actually the abstract part painting is very detailed. Attention to details, little things, just same as realistic painting. We call the process mopping the floor, like to make a metaphor, and then you kind of sewing using needle, like sewing, yeah, like you're sewing that kind of. So I just add some definition. You can add more. Let me just use this brush. This time I just use the brush directly. So this paper, good news, doesn't smear at all. See, it doesn't smear. So this mulberry paper is good for you. Try to do the Mount Wilson. I saw this morning when I drive here. Is that beautiful? Right? You see that? Pasadena? Commute.
You had a lot of San Diego things.
Oh yeah, this is one. This style I did. One of the paintings, I think. So a big mountain governs the others. So in any landscape, in Chinese landscape, there's a hierarchy. The major mountains like the emperor governs the subjects. So you always have a peak, right? One peak, not two. Okay, just one. And I use this big whistle or wolf here. Wolf here. It stands for stiff here. I can do this.
So they have a lot of rules. Huh?
No, just for convenience. You can use other brush, smaller ones, because I'm doing this little observatory thing, or the what's that? The TV stations, the videos, right? Just do that. You don't have. I just get the impression. Okay. we always add. I did see some cars the other day when we drive 210, so I just leave this as is. We need to leave space for cars and this. There are more clouds in China than here, so that's why this approach is created by me to depict to create the kind of desert landscape, kind of dry landscape, and still we have to do the air. She asked me what kind of brush is this. She haven't seen this. This is a new brush made by our company. I have the logo on it. It's
Put
easy
ink
to
in it?
carry. Yeah, just you can put the ink inside. It's a reservoir. It's the ink is inside the brush handle. So it's like a pen, but with brush. There's a bigger version. We have two different versions. One is small. One is bigger, so you can do. Let me see. Let's do some trees. Pasadena. What kind of trees? Palm trees. Something like that. Yeah, I try not to do too close-up views of the foreground. Should be not much foreground, but you can dot the forest like that. So there are dots and lines with brush, but the other is done with the huge brush as a texture, right? Just suggest. Let's add some other warm color, maybe. A little like a forest, autumn foliages. You will see it on YouTube later.
Good.
Not too much. I could add a contrast color, maybe see a little more one. There's no, actually, it's basically green mountain, right? Some little purple.
So you take a damp brush to kind of blend or tone it down or something.
You can do the sky if you want. I usually don't do the sky, but you can try this color. Just have this color in hands. That try this. It's an opaque color, so I'm not sure if it will work. One stroke. No reloading. When the brush is dry, just slow down. Okay. Just put it more. Yes. Because I have to balance the weight. There's no sense of light, but there's yin yang, the positive negative thing, which kind of form each other, model each other. That we used to use the back layer, kind of foil out the front layer, that kind of thing. We don't really use much shading. Okay. Finished? It's very important to know when to stop. So 70%, more or less. Okay. Mount Wilson impressionistic. Thank you. Let's see. You want to finish yours?